Mommy, Dennis, and Business. Welcome back. We are on our business media network, and I just wanted to introduce Steve Kizy, CEO of Midway Dental Supplies. Midway has been working with us, especially the Mommy Dentist Group, in bringing us great value in our supplies and equipment. And Steve, I just thought you would come on and introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Yum. We are honored to be working with you and your group, and look forward to helping everybody navigate through these treacherous times.
Well, thank you so much for working with us. And because of Midway, Mommy Dentists have been able to secure supplies that are scarce, such as masks that we will need to use in order to be OSHA compliant when we go back, for some of us, go back to work, to have the proper PPE. And so I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the supply chain, what's going on right now, and what your thoughts are.
Yes. So when the coronavirus pandemic started in China, it started in a location called Wuhan, and Wuhan manufactures 80% of the surgical masks for the entire world. So with that being said, there was a massive shortage after that restriction went into place, and China shut that region down to try to contain the virus. And that's caused quite a bit of pandemonium regarding masks and a shortage in the supply chain. And during that time, demand has gone up drastically, with the demand going up not only in China, however, the rest of the world has a high demand, and normal people were buying masks everywhere they could. The cost of the raw material to make the mask has gone up tenfold. It's been rather crazy, and it's been fluid. It changes daily. We're speaking to China nightly to work on sourcing masks for our customers. But the main thing that we're working to source right now are hospitals and nursing homes that are in need of these masks while dental offices are closed. We're trying to play our duty and help everybody that we possibly can during this time. It's difficult and hard to maintain, but we are working through the night. Our warehouse team, our sourcing team, our strategic markets team for speaking to hospitals and governments and nursing homes around the country. It's I've honestly never felt so invigorated to want to help people. I've actually made a commitment to my staff in Midway Dental that as long as the warehouse is open, I am coming to work. I'm here for any questions that you may have or any of our customers may have, and work our best to try to protect them during these times. It's difficult, and I know this to be the case. My wife's family is a family of 8, and 5 are MDs, and they're currently on the front lines. One of my sister-in-laws is actually an infectious disease doctor, so she is seeing everything firsthand and is letting me know about new guidelines and things that come out and ways we can help the current environment. So I appreciate your time here, and look forward to discussing it a bit further.
Thank you so much. And, we just want to say thank you for all the work that you guys are doing to help everyone in the healthcare industry. And what do you think about, because you're so close to it too, like your family members that are doctors that are risking their lives and their families to help other people. I feel like there's a little bit of hysteria going on. There's a shortage, and doctors are asking dentists to donate. And then there are people obviously who are married to physicians that are being exposed. And I find that some people are accusing dentists of hoarding supplies and getting upset and saying, oh, it's your fault now that, my physician spouse is going to catch coronavirus. I mean, what is your response to that?
I would say that that's absolutely not the case. Midway Dental, as well as the majority of our competitors, have placed allocation limits on these products, so nobody can hoard masks. What's causing the shortage goes a lot farther than what's going on in the dental industry. What's causing the shortage is the demand worldwide and normal people wearing masks everywhere you go. I think we're all witness to it. When you walk to the bank or go get groceries, you see multiple people wear masks. That's what's causing the shortage. And to put this into simple math terms, I believe the population in China is 1.6 billion people. If only 10% of their population were to wear a mask, that's 160 million masks a day in production. Now, what has also happened is the price has gone up, and the price has gone up specifically because governments are willing to pay for these products. And the cost to actually manufacture the raw goods that go into a mask or go into a gown has gone up alongside with it. That's just a function of supply and demand. And as these products become more scarce, and as manufacturing facilities produce these products, and more manufacturing facilities in Asia are starting to produce masks to try to alleviate some of the shortages, the price continues to stay stagnant. We do think pricing will go down and in the short term. However, when it comes to hospitals, we are working closely with hospitals to try to source everything we can. We are providing masks to hospitals. The majority of the masks that we had in our office or are purchasing for our dental offices are not compliant with what's necessary for a medical practitioner. Right now, they're telling everybody you need an N95 or an N95 equivalent to be able to fully protect yourself. A level 1 or a level 2 or a level 3 mask does not work that way at this point. Right now, to a medical professional, because they're not working with a ton of aerosols, you cannot, a level 1 mask provides the same security as a level 3 mask unless they're directly going to a patient's mouth or somebody coughs in their face, which I'm hoping the majority of our medical professionals have face masks or face shields to help protect against exposure that way. And we are working with our medical counterparts to support their cause.
That's interesting that you brought up the different types of masks. And my next question is that the CDC website has listed manufacturers and like the different types of masks. Can you go into detail about why we should purchase the specific masks from specific people who are manufacturing them? Because I find that some people are saying, oh, well, I found these masks on Amazon and it says that it's their N95s. And what is the danger of that? And then also, some people are like, well, a majority of these masks are made in China. That's where the virus started. Like, how do we know that these don't have the virus on them?
Yes, so the majority of masks were made in China anyway, all along the way. I would say the vast majority. Now, when you go on Amazon and you find N95s, I would implore you to read their reviews. After reading their reviews, confirm that they're accurate. So in the United States, the CDC has a guideline, and we call it the NIOSH N95, which is the 3M N95 and many other manufacturers that either create a private label N95, but they submit it to the CDC for certification. In China, they have an equivalent called an KN95, which essentially does the same thing. It's doesn't go through the rigorous test that a CDC does, but it fulfills all the requirements that CDC does. I believe they just have to submit their mask and pay for certification. However, with the pandemic going on, the CDC has released a letter letting everybody know that KN95, I think it's a PPFE mask from Europe, PPFE2 and PPFE3, that amounts to the same certification level as an N95, and they're opening up the markets to be able to bring those in and distribute to as many medical professionals as possible.
Sorry, my mic just went off. Is it true that masks that construction people wear, painters wear, are equivalent to that protection level?
Yes, they also follow the guidelines of N95. The problem isn't finding it on Amazon. The problem is, one, making sure it's real. There's a lot of opportunists that have created fake N95s and tried to pass it off in the market. We are only working with suppliers that we know are in the medical field or work with the medical field, either in A, pharmaceuticals, or B, just the hospitals in general. We are paying a bit of a premium for them, but we're paying for that premium because we know their supply chain and know where they came from, and know that they are able to have access to all the proper certifications to prove that they're real. The last thing we would ever want to do is put a product out there that we don't know where they came from.
Right, that's true. How are we doing with supply for gowns and also face shields, as you mentioned?
So they're also difficult. The same material that goes into a mask makes a gown. But we've been able to source some, and we'll continue to source more. Like I mentioned before, pricing has gone up, but we do think it will go down in the future. We just don't know when. After talking to our manufacturing partners, we realized that they have at least a year's worth of production on hold right now, or going through the process and going down the line. So a lot of those POs that were placed prior to this pandemic going on did not take into account for the increased demand. And that's where it's scary. Now in China, similar to what we're trying to do here in the States with converting auto manufacturers to make ventilators, a lot of textile factories and other factories in China are converting to make masks. Now, they can convert to make masks, but we have to audit their factories to make sure that it's the right, it's the right material and made with the proper materials to protect people. The other part I'd like to get into is level 3 masks that most dental providers are used to using will probably go away for quite a long time. You cannot get level 3 masks right now sourced from China. At least we haven't been able to find it. And the reason being is the majority of the raw material that goes into making a level 3 mask is now going into an N95 mask. And they've shifted that material to be used for the N95 mask.
Got it. So when we go back to work, whether it be in a month or more than that, will we be prepared in getting our shipment of masks and gowns?
Yes. I do see supply chain filling. What we've done to try to alleviate it, and it's rather expensive, is to get air shipments. UPS has been a wonderful partner during this time. They're working with us to start getting shipments daily starting next week on Monday, and we would continue to get shipments and try to fulfill the orders. However, at this point, as long as hospitals need the product, we will sell the product to hospitals, while keeping in mind that we need to have some sort of reserve for when this does get better and when dentists do go back to work, to make sure that they're properly protected.
Great.
Because dentists are medical practitioners as well. And according to many articles that I've read, a hygienist and a dentist actually carries the most risk with their job to getting contaminated by COVID because of the aerosols.
Right. And that's, a big risk. And unfortunately, some of our colleagues have been infected with COVID-19. And that's scary because a patient may not have symptoms. It may not show signs of symptoms at that dental visit. And if we're not careful, we can contract it, but we won't know until 2 weeks later.
Correct. Correct. I think it takes between 3 and 14 days to have to start displaying signs of COVID. If you display signs of COVID, that's that's the issue. Is most people do not know that they've contracted the virus.
Right. Now, I've been hearing, and I don't know if you've heard the same, that doctors, in order to conserve their N95 mask, which is pretty expensive, that they can wear the N95 mask and then layer it with like another level 1, 2, or 3 mask that they have. And then after each patient, just replace the outer layer mask. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have, and that's what the majority of customers that we know are doing at this point. Uh, I, I am not an expert and I am not a scientist to say that that will work perfectly, but I will say that we've heard that numerous times, and we do know a lot of dental practices as well as medical practitioners who are using that, who are going that route.
Right. Well, Steve, is there anything else that you think we should discuss before hopping off?
Yes, just a personal message for myself. Please stay safe. Anybody who's contracted the virus and is sick now, we will think about you and definitely pray for you. Anybody in the dental industry, we are praying for you and hoping that you see your way through this and come out stronger on the other side. I do want to reiterate that this is unprecedented and we haven't seen it before. However, as human beings, whenever we face a challenge like this one, we come out on the other side a lot better than we started. So I implore everybody to think positively and work through this and follow the guidelines that the CDC put out there and try to isolate yourself as much as humanly possible to flatten that curve, because it is important for the medical practitioners out in the market, or the medical practitioners in the hospital, to try to see as few amount of cases as possible and only if they're necessary, and conserve the care for the people that need it the most.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being a partner of Mommy Dentist in Business and helping us. And for, I know that Sandy, who is one of your reps, she's handling all the mommy dentists, and she's been a rock star through all of this.
Absolutely.
We just want to give her a shout out because she has been working so hard, and you have a great team. And for all of you listening, if you are not a Midway customer, please be a Midway customer. And it's a company that really cares about their doctors and their clients, and we're very happy to be working with them. So thank you again for your time, Steven, for giving us up that information. And we hope that you and your family stay safe, and that your family that's in the emergency rooms working, that they are safe as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Yum.
Okay, bye-bye.